Here's a Samsung 32-inch LED television. This is model UN32EH4003. When this came to me, the symptom was, I've disconnected the control panel board. The symptom was that you try to power this up, the standby LED right here would blink once, and then it would go back to standby. You'd never get any backlights, and obviously no picture. And no startup chime either. So there's lots of videos showing you how to troubleshoot and repair this TV on the web. And one of the first ones out there will tell you that all you have to do to troubleshoot this TV is remove this connector. This is the connector from the power supply over to the main digital board. Remove this connector, apply power, you get backlights. You can see the backlights lit here. And if we move the meter and stand up the TV, kind of tricky the way it is right now, you should be able to see the screen is somewhat lit. So that's encouraging. And the conclusion of that, the author of that video, is that you would need a new main digital board. Not entirely true. Okay, I've reconnected the cable from the power supply back to the main digital board. We're back to our standby light. Another video online put out by a very reputable source will tell you that you should measure some voltages. So you should have, here's your backlight connector. You should have 80 volts, backlights off. Let's see if we've got it. And they have you measuring both of these blue wires. Okay, we've got this connector disconnected again. Should have 110 volts now, the backlights are on. Let's check it. There we go, 108.5. Check this one, there we go, 108.5. Now we should have some voltages here too. You should see your standby voltage and see what we got. There's our standby voltage, 5.29. Power to the main board, 13 volts is present up in here. So we've got our 13, we've got our 5, we've got our 80, we've got our 110. Pretty much looks like a main digital board. Not so though. The next thing you need to do, if you have voltages and the backlights come on when you disconnect this cable here, make sure you disconnect this from the LED driver board. Let's see what happens when I apply power. Alright, we got our standby light. See if I can turn the thing on. Ooh, did you hear that chime? Backlights are on again. You can hope this is showing through the video. The backlights have come on and it chimed. Wow, what does that mean? We've actually got voltage coming to the panel. Okay, voltage feeding the panel should be about 13 volts. And you can see just by putting your probe here, there it is. If you hold the probe steady. And you can measure it on this end. Pretty hard to do all this and hold the camera. But you can measure here on this gold leaf. And you'll find that 13 volts is present. So we can turn, let's do that again. We can turn the TV on and off. Chimes as it goes down too. Standby light is on. Turn the TV back on. Chimes up. Backlights come on. So where's our problem? Well, obviously it's not the main digital board, even though the tuner is quite rusty. It's not the power supply. It's not the LEDs in the backlights, because they're lighting up fine. We either have a bad driver board or a bad LED panel. Now sometimes the LED panel can be cracked. Let's check that. It's very hard to see in the camera. The backlights are on, the screen is lit. I don't really see any crack here. So here's another thing you can do. Sometimes a crack would be on the back of the LCD panel. Now I've got it taped right here. I'm going to remove that tape and we'll lift it up and see what we see. Okay, now you can really see that the backlights are on. Here's the back of the panel. It's reflecting the backlights. There is no crack back here. Sometimes you'll look very carefully at the front of the LCD. You don't see a thing. You do what I'm doing right now. You just pick it up and you'll see a huge crack on the back side, and that's your problem. Well, cracked LCD is not my problem, so it's not that. Okay, so now we're looking at the driver board. This is where the ribbon cable comes in. We know that 13 volts is present on this end of the ribbon cable. We know that the 13 volts comes in right here. Here's a fuse. The fuse is good. Here's camcorder. There we go. VCC test point is right there. So that should show 13 volts. But unfortunately the screen is not going to turn on, and so we don't see our 13 volts there. So we have it on the cable, but it disappears the moment we connect the cable to the connector. So there's a short somewhere. Where is it? Well, we look at all these things, can't find anything. Everything looks good visually, and checking with a multimeter. This looks fine. So you kind of give up. So the temptation now. What if I just took a big power supply and put 13 volts right there on that first pin? What would happen? Something would burn up. Then it occurs to me, all we have to do, and of course whatever burned up, that would be our problem. So then it occurs to me, all we have to do is turn the TV on the way we did just now, by powering it up with the ribbon cable disconnected, and then connect the ribbon cable. Now, essentially by doing that, backlights are on, TV is on, we plug in the ribbon cable, protect circuits have been defeated, and instantly, way over here, where is it? Right there, instantly something smokes. It's Q1. So that's what was causing this TV not to turn on. Q1 on the driver board, and you can see that it's quite smoked here, but fortunately I turned it off real quick so I could still read some numbers on Q1. Don't know what that is. It's a little surface mount transistor, and the numbers on it were 132. So if I only had a 132, I could try replacing Q1 and maybe this thing would work again. So I really don't know if that's going to be the only problem with this. Might be. There might be some associated parts right next to it, but they don't appear to be burned, and that was only on for smoking for half a second there. I don't think I have a bad panel. I think I just have a bad surface mount transistor. That thing is probably worth 25 cents or less. So we're that close to getting this TV fixed in all likelihood. So I hope this helps you. Thanks for watching.